Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to Talking Town, the platform for fans by fans of the world's greatest football team, Ipswich Town F.C. And we are here today. It is Sunday. It is slightly after 1:30. The boys were arguing backstage. You're in for a decent little show, I can promise you that much. If they're already bickering off air, wait till the light goes on and they have to do it on air. But we're here to obviously pick apart, look at, discuss, dissect the 1-1 home draw with Cheltenham yesterday, the powerhouses that are Cheltenham. And what did you make of it? I'd love to welcome your thoughts. At about halfway point through the show, I'll drop a link into the chat, and we'll do first come, first serve. We'll do 3 or 4 fans of the world's best football club to come on the platform and have their say live. But I don't really have a run sheet today. I'm not quite sure still what to make of it. So I really do welcome your input in the live chat, as many of you have already started to do. Carl Brooks, for example, extremely frustrated with yesterday, too slow in possession, not enough penetrative passes in the final third. Everything was sideways, not clinical with our chances. Need to stop the silly mistake. Angela Fairweather, feels like the wheels are coming off. Thank you for the comment. John B, are we a little unlucky? It was the same issues. Moby, we've been ahead in 16 of our 18 League One games this season, but only won 11. That's a stat in itself. I'm just going to star that stat. I might come back to that through the course of the show. Moby, thank you very much for bringing it to us. Rob Holmes, afternoon, all sitting here scratching my head at how we've managed to throw away 4 points against Charlton and Cheltenham. Roy Clark, doesn't think the team is as good as some people think. Good teams would bury teams like Cheltenham. We don't have a plan B. Love those comments. We welcome more. Get involved in the live chat. I'll get as many as you can on the screen. Put them to the guys. Before we go any further, hit the like button. If you're watching this on live or catch up, hit the thumbs up button on YouTube. It really does help the platform. Takes 5 seconds at best and is completely and utterly free. So this is your league table following yesterday. We, of course, still sit second, but only 1 point now ahead of Wednesday. And the team that keeps being called Tin Pot and live chats are now closing the gap between us and them. Peterborough on 31, we're on 38. They're getting closer, and eventually I feel these Tin Pot claims are going to come back and bite people on the backside. Well, that remains to be seen. But we are second with 38. Plymouth are top with 42. And Wednesday, third with 37. The gap, the cushion has gone. It's all getting rather squeaky. Right, let's bring him in. Somebody get the tables. Hard truth are here. Delivering the truth that nobody wants to hear. The Cruncher and the Media Mogul. The hard truth, boys, are here. We've got fur coat, no knickers. Matty with 2 T's. Why are you happy? Of course you are. Tell the people at home why you're happy and where they can watch your happiness. Come
England
on.
won a global white ball tournament. England are the only team to hold both the 50 overs and the 20 over white ball competitions. I had to nearly wring Gov's neck to do a pod tonight. We've just won a World Cup. Matt says, hang on, the Bears are playing at 6 p.m. Don't worry, folks. 9:30 tonight. We're going to pick it apart. England, world champions. Anyway, Matt, what happened? Michael Fish down there with the weather of doom, I think I'd call it.
They said there was going to be a severe weather warning over Melbourne, and why couldn't they have got the other stadium down in the Docklands area, which is covered, to play the final in? So that was a big debate.
You cannot just move a tournament to another venue with it takes weeks to prepare a cricket pitch, Matt.
Yeah, it does.
For anybody who doesn't know about cricket, obviously Gov, you can't just cut a bit. You can't just cut a little bit of grass and put some stumps in and away we go, lads.
No, these people have got especially places on the field they can stand to scratch their backs.
When is this Rounders tournament over?
Exactly what I said.
World champions.
The big debate on the weather reach was why the Australians wouldn't have the tournament later in their summer because of the Big Bash. That's why it had to be.
It was a success. Mike from Portsmouth. I know you're a big cricket fan. We'll see you tonight at 9:30. Get in the chat.
Cricket fan. Yeah. So live tonight at 9:30. The Talking Cricket team are live with champagne, wine, nibbles. None for you, all for them, but do come and join them anyway as they celebrate Rounders cricket success for England. So that's that out of the way. That's my it's my Sunday off. It's my Sunday night off, man. I'm already losing my voice for shouting.
Did you have to get permission from Mrs. Lambert?
No. What I've done is I've timed it up with the post game show I watch via VPN from Chicago. So that's why I can't listen to you at the same time, because you'll be on mute while I'm listening to
Who are the Bears playing today? I'm not interested in NFL.
The Detroit Kitty Cats. The Detroit Kitty Cats.
Bears will have lost by half time, most likely.
Oh, don't, man. Don't depress me further than what I already am. I can't even choose winners. But we're here today to discuss Ipswich Town 1, Cheltenham 1. Lots of comments are coming in. I want to welcome more. Get them in. Because I've got no run sheet here, Matt, because I don't really know. I've had a coffee in Costa this morning. I've had a pigs in blanket wrap. And I still have no idea.
Christmas specials in Costa, are they?
It's not Christmas if you don't count it as Christmas. All right.
When you put your
just
tree
a gingerbread
up,
man.
When's the tree going up, everybody?
First couple of weeks in December. I mean, it's my birthday first. I don't like this. No. This
when is your tree going up? Come on.
Look,
we've got a puppy now, and I know you all know. We've got a puppy. I said to Suzanne, can we put it up Christmas Eve and take it down Boxing Day, because it's going to be carnage.
It's going to be carnage. Well, last year you were mega early. I remember that. I was disgusted with you. Disgusted.
It was November, wasn't it? It's still November, wasn't it?
October, mate. It was ridiculously early. It was before Halloween. But look, I'm here on behalf of every single person who's got a birthday in November to say, please, at least give us a birthday before you get the Christmas tree up. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my fault I was born.
Need a dividing line.
What's your question? What's your shirt size, by the way?
What's the tree size?
No, your shirt size.
Oh, my shirt size?
Oh, yeah.
You need to know.
It's a personal question, isn't it, darling? I mean,
because Matt said you're not a fat bastard on Friday, so don't ruin it by saying you're triple XL.
What the hell? What a lyric. Matt, no run sheet. I don't know what to make of the game yesterday. Talk to me. How are you feeling sat in sunny Chelmsford?
Before we quickly do that, pigs in blanket wrap is presumably just sausage and bacon, is it? Is that what that is?
It is, mate. Sausage a tad too salty. Just say that.
Yeah. Pigs in blanket. I expect. What did I make of the game yesterday? Just as frustrating as the Cheltenham one. The Cheltenham one was more of a punch in the stomach, wasn't it? Because of the 2 goals. But yesterday, I mean, bloody hell, how many shots can you have? Wow. 29, which is what Man City had apparently on Match of the Day last night and lost the game. So there you go. But yeah, I do. Look, I've seen some of the comments come in there, Rich. The wheels are coming off. I wouldn't say as far as that, but certainly we seem to be going through what you'd have to predict is a bit of a wobble, because we got lucky against Derby with the back pass, and then we've thrown the 2 at Cheltenham.
Did we get lucky against Derby? We didn't get lucky against Derby. We won the game by being the better team.
Yeah, but we capitalised on the back pass, didn't we? We'll come to this in a second.
The game of mistakes, football.
There are your match stats, Matt. 29 shots, but only 4 on target. Only 4 on target.
This is my issue I've got yesterday, right? It's we have to keep constantly huffing and puffing on the door. You know, it's the Alamo, it's the Armada. 29 shots, 1 goal. Cheltenham just break down the other end and score. They didn't have to work hard at all, did they, for their point? Well, they had to work hard defensively, but in terms of actually scoring against us, as McKenna said in his post-match interview, people have a shot on target against us, seems to go in. And that is not going to win us the title or get us second, in my opinion.
The gap has been closed, Rich. Certainly, obviously, with now.
I think people are so reactive now to like one game, aren't they? It's the trouble. Like it is now with social media. Look, platforms like this, it gives everyone an opinion. I get that, and football is a game of opinions.
It's 2 games, though, not 1 game. It's 2 games.
But Matt, nobody's going to be perfect through the season.
No.
There'll be some dodgy results, and is this our blip? If this is our blip, you just have to take it on the chin. As frustrating as it is, and you move on to the next game, because we've got Exeter next Saturday on Sky, 12 o'clock. Tough game. They were 2-1 down in the 80th minute yesterday against Tin Pot, as Colin keeps calling them, but they're not Tin Pot, Colin, because if you're calling them Tin Pot, what a town not Tin Pot when we can't beat a team who bring 175 fans down. But yeah, we need to keep our heads, I think. But I said yesterday it's about being ruthless, and I don't just mean about being ruthless in the opposition's box. We have to be ruthless in our own box defensively, because I was talking to Gov, Matt, before you come on. I would like to know, you can probably find it somewhere, the amount of chances that we give to the opposition are quite minimal, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like the opposition doesn't have to do a lot to score a goal. I'd like to know the percentage of goals to the chances that we give away, because it's got to be 50% at least. Because yesterday there's another one where
one on target yesterday.
Yeah, we are so in control of that game, and it's small margins. Harness's shot goes in, it's 2-0, it's game over. But you have to do your job, not just scoring goals. And yeah, maybe look, yesterday we should have scored more than one goal. I get that. You know, we've had 62 shots, 63 shots over the Lincoln and Cheltenham game. You know, we've not worked the goalkeepers enough. But if you're always conceding a sloppy goal a game here and there, since Sheffield Wednesday, before Sheffield Wednesday, I think we were quite tight at the back. But
yeah.
And yesterday, it was, I've heard people now saying, you've got to give Halaki a game. You got nonsense talk. Christian Walton is one of the best goalkeepers in this league, and he made a mistake. And he made a mistake at Charlton, but we can rely on him 99% of the time. He's a human being, right? Everybody makes mistakes. Everyone in that chat saying this is shit, that's shit. Are you telling me you don't have a bad day at work now and again? Because you do. No. Because they're human. We're not bulletproof. We're not perfect. We're in League One for a reason, right? Because there's mistakes in all these players. That's why they play in League One. You know?
You show me a bad show and I'll tell you I've had a bad day at the office.
But over the season, Matt Stannard, humans need a break. Are you saying that Christian Walton needs a break? He doesn't. People were moaning about Halaki after 3 games last season. 3 games. You know,
this was the conversation for those.
You have to calm down.
For those watching, this was the conversation that forced us to be late, because these two were having this very conversation backstage.
Saying Walton's been poor for a while. He hasn't. Fucking nonsense comment.
Play the ball, not the
nonsense.
Matt, you posed the question to Rich before I pressed. I said, right, enough of this. So pose the question to him now. Go on. It was a good question. I liked it. Pose it to him now.
You know, yes. Look, Walton is one of the best keepers in the division, absolutely. And people do make mistakes, and I can live with those mistakes. But what does Walton have to do in order for Halaki to get an opportunity? Obviously, he got the opportunity against Bracknell, didn't he? But he's cost us the points at Charlton. I could live with that. Really should have saved that yesterday. You're only as good as your last game, aren't you? And these last 2 games haven't been good enough. But
you're taking him out of the team. You're taking him out of the team over 2 mistakes.
No. What I'm going to say is that it's a huge statement to the starting 11, isn't it? When you take your keeper out, we all remember Biakowski getting dropped for the Norwich game. I mean, talk about an explosion before the derby. Yeah. So it's it sends a big message, doesn't it? That you probably haven't got faith in that keeper. But the reality is, he's cost us a couple of games, in my opinion.
What about the points that he's won us then? What about the points that he's won us? Does anyone not give him any credit? Do they just think that's what he should do? Because,
Rick,
he's one of the best goalkeepers in the league. And when we need him this season, when the chips are down later on in the season, he will win us games. And he's won us games before.
He has done already, yeah.
You're only as good as your last. As we keep saying, you're only as good as your last game. He's not been good enough in the 2 games. Actually, I don't think he's been good since Sheffield Wednesday, when we started saying, "Oh, why does he keep shanking the ball?" or all that kind of stuff. Look, I'm not saying he should be dropped. I'm just saying what has to happen for Halaki to get an opportunity. Like, in my opinion, Walton has cost us 2 matches. Now, some people will agree with that opinion and some won't. Rich doesn't agree with it. Fine.
So your question really to Rich, to the chat, to everybody listening to on catch up, what's the threshold? Where's the mark of the drop off where you go, okay, you know, we've kind of got to make a change, just because otherwise, you know, what is Halaki doing here otherwise? But you're not saying that happens just yet. Ben says we've been on our best players for a long time. And a great comment from Andy here says, if keeper makes a gaff, everyone notices. I played in goal. I know that myself. Yeah. Every player makes mistakes. Walton is class and doesn't deserve to be dropped, which is absolutely spot on. Because when you look at it, Rich, 29 shots, 4 on target, hit the woodwork several times. You know, I want to say on a different day, you sat here saying
about one player when we win as a team and we lose as a team, but we have certain fans who seem to target certain players. They do. Certain players. Well, Emerson Fairweather is spot on there. There's no chance one gets dropped. End of debate. 100% correct.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why I was moving.
Well, I wouldn't agree. I would not agree with that. No one's safe in the side, surely.
Certain players are. Certain players are.
No, I'm not having that.
You have
chance.
Your captain. Morsey plays every week.
That's it. Well, Morsey really. Well, other than that ridiculous free kick he took yesterday to the left side of the, rather than shooting.
Why do they not shoot?
No.
Yes, Morsey. Are you telling me Morsey's not safe, Matt, in that team?
No,
rubbish. That's rubbish comment. That's nonsense. He's our captain. He's the captain, and he sets the standard. And
no. He hasn't put a foot wrong.
Injured.
He rarely puts a foot wrong. He rarely puts a foot wrong. So he doesn't give you the option to drop him. But no one's safe in a starting 11. No chance. You're only as good as the sum of your parts. If one was
you have your spine of your team, all good teams have a spine of the team. That's what you built on, your team. You can't just because you have a couple of games, we'll take you out because you're not playing very well. Fucking hell.
Not saying over 2 games.
Because if everybody has a bad game now and again, if you're going to take him out for a couple of bad games.
Don't put people, if you want to win a title this season, don't put anyone in a comfort zone. Because that's the first mistake you'll make of not winning or coming second.
People said the Lackey was shit last season, and now all of a sudden, I'll get back in the next.
Yeah,
he's reserved goalkeeper for a reason because he ain't good enough.
Bring back Holy. There you go. I thought that might stone the conversation. Yeah,
no one should be safe in a side. Otherwise, where's the hunger to improve, to progress?
I'm sure I'm sure Christian Walton doesn't need to tune in here this afternoon to see a load of nonsense comments to know that he should have done better with that.
Why would
you?
Why would you, if you're a pro player? Why would you tune into a fan? I don't take that excuse.
We're debating the game. Did Christian Walton cost us 3 points against Cheltenham? Yes. Did he cost us 3 points yesterday? Yes.
But he wasn't the sole reason. Not on his own. You can't just signal out one player. It's nonsense to say it was his fault. It was his fault.
If you let me move the conversation on, we can talk about somebody else.
Well, Cameron Humphries said he should have scored that chance in the first half where he dinked it straight to the goalkeeper. We're going to blame him for that.
Marcus Harner should have scored instead of, rattling
what was the goalkeeper's job? To keep the ball out of the net. And everyone is saying, East Anglian Daily Times, everyone's saying Christian Walton made a mistake that allowed Cheltenham back in the game. And he made the same mistake against Cheltenham. They're just facts.
I didn't think I'd sit here today and we have this. This would be the conversation.
No, you're dropping him. You're dropping him, then, Matt. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not, but he's culpable for us dropping 4 points.
But he's not the only one.
I wouldn't drop him because I think it's a huge statement. But
so what is the threshold? You cannot just signal out
to get an opportunity. What is the threshold for a Ladkey to get an opportunity? Was he just sitting on the bench forever? He's second choice. At some point,
it's like what Colin says. What about the defending then at Charlton?
We've got 4 goals
in. They weren't all Christian Walton's fault, were they?
Well, I mean, you would say argue a keeper's only as good as his defence, but when you spill the ball for one of the goals at Cheltenham and he lets the ball in at the near post yesterday, massive mistakes that have cost Ipswich. And if we don't finish top 2, you'll all go, "Oh bloody hell, Walton cost us them points. Now we're in the playoffs."
No, we won't.
How do we tighten up defensively? Because like yesterday's goal, if you take Walton out of the conversation for a second, you've got wide open spaces on that left-hand side. And once again, we're conceding soft goals. We're being caught out of possession. How is it a tactical switch? Is it you telling Morsey to sit and be a holder? Is there not a protection for the back four? Why, as a football club, have we suddenly started to ship sort of silly, leaky goals, Rich? What's going on?
Mike the Fisherman, you're a fucking disrespectful there, saying take your turn out of one glass. All he wants to do, Mike, is moan. Now listen, I'll have my say because he has enough say on Twitter. All he wants to do is moan, and he never gives anyone any fucking credit. Sit on your fucking sofa while proper fans like us and Colin go to these games, Mike. If you want to come on and have a go, you have your say back. Fair enough. But all you do is moan. I see it on Twitter all the time. Nonsense. Moaning all the time.
Right. I can deal with Mike in the chat. That's not a good comment. There's a timeout coming your way, Mike. That's the second strike in that. Come on, be respectful. Play the opinion, not the person. Please. Thank you. Right. Why are we conceding sloppy goals? God, it's a lively crowd here today, isn't it? Good Lord. It's like being a bouncer. And I don't do conflict any variety, so I'm out of my comfort zone right here. Proper fans that go there is a little bit of a bone of contention we've got personally between me and you with that. You know I don't like.
Come on, you know a lot of what I say is tongue in cheek, but it annoys me when certain people all they want to do is moan all the time. We're still fucking second in the league, for fuck's sake. It's hardly like let's go back to the fucking Hurst days, shall we? Let's go back to the Lambert days. If you don't enjoy it at the minute, I honestly don't know why you're bothering with football.
I didn't enjoy yesterday.
Why? It's fantastic. You mean,
no,
brilliant minute silence. A 53rd minute pause for Martin. Stuff like that. A brilliant event before the game put on by Josh. Stuff like that. It's the whole day, Martin.
Yeah, but I still want a Ipswich Town win.
So the crux of it is the 90 minutes, though, right?
So
Yeah, like, I want to, if we walked out of there having had the one shot on target at Cheltenham and won 1-0, I'd have been fucking delighted.
Still be moaning. You would still be moaning because you'd have hated it that we didn't score 5 and it was boring. Like when Mick was here, we moaned then and we were winning.
Yeah, but we've gone backwards. We're now going to go forwards again. Like you've got to look at the time scale of what you're talking about there. I want to get back to where we were under Mick because we've fallen so far behind from that point in time when you had McGoldrick, you had Bishop, who when he was fit was a very good player. You had technically good players that could play, and you felt maybe these tactics were being not good enough for the squad. And then obviously Hers comes in, you dismantle the squad, and it all goes to Tong. Yesterday we played Cheltenham. We've got one of the largest budgets in the football in the league, one of the largest there is. You've just put pressure on yourself, haven't you? When Wednesday come to town, when Peterborough come to town, when Plymouth come to town, that you can't now afford a 1-1 draw at home to Wednesday.
They'll have a go and it suits us. Whereas these teams come and
Does
we still haven't worked. Yeah, we still haven't worked out how to sort of break these teams down. Well, I said on Friday, didn't I? What did I say? Keys to victory match. Score an early goal, it makes it easy for you. Well, we done that and we still didn't win the game.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not learning from any mistake, though, are we?
No.
Lincoln, like this is not just a this season problem either. Like last season, there was numerous games. Lincoln again this year. Like there's a fundamental issue here. Either it's a tactical issue, a mentality issue, a player not being good enough issue. There's issues here. You're not romping the league. You're second by a point.
Says we're struggling to score goals. Well, we're not. We're second top scorers in the league, and we're averaging 2 goals a game.
We are. So why is it so squeaky? Why is it so tight? Is it because you've dropped clangers like yesterday? I mean, what's the situation? What do you feel is you're not top by 100 points? You can't be at this point, I know, but you're not top running away with it. So something's not right, and you can critique that. If you'd won every single game, I could sit here and say, well, no show today, guys, because there's fuck all to talk about. We're too good. But we're not. But why not, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, clangers does play a part in it, doesn't it? I certainly think watching the game yesterday and then thinking back to how we scored goals away from home. There we are, huffing and puffing yesterday. I mean, their keeper was quite good, wasn't he? Southwood. But he had quite a good
broken nose. Did you know he played with a broken nose in the second half?
Did he? Yeah.
You know the double save he done when he went down, he had treatment. He got that right in the face. So he had a broken nose. He played
he done well. He was a good keeper. But yeah, I think certainly how we play at home and how we play away are two completely different. We're far more clinical away from home in front of goal, aren't we? Look at the Port Vale game. Didn't need many chances in that game to go 2 up, and the delivery of the ball was better into Ladapo. And then yesterday, Ladapo's not getting anything. We overpassed the ball at home, in my opinion. We did something like 700 odd passes yesterday. That's 100 more than what Man City did against Brentford.
So is that personnel? Because away from home, Rich, we tend to play different players, to be frank. John Jules, Jackson. Whereas at home,
you have to obviously make the running, and these teams, look, they're going to make it difficult. No one's going to make it easy.
But there was no pace in that side yesterday, Matt Rich. That first 11 that started the game, there was no pace in that 11. No real pace. You had Wes Burns, but no pace in that 11. Harness is not
they're
fast.
Sitting deep. You can't really get behind them. You can't really get behind them, can you? Whereas we play away from home, and these teams come onto us, Martin, a little bit.
There was space in behind that first half. Yeah, there was space. They weren't as compact and as defensive as I thought they were going to be. When they got their goal, certainly I feel they actually took a lot from that and had a lot of confidence and felt at certain points of the game they could probably win this game. And they weren't as, we're not going to cross the halfway line as I thought perhaps they were going to be.
Yeah. Well, I think at the end of the day, it feels like we've drawn a training game, because that's what it felt like the first half to me. It looked like attack versus defence. That was Cheltenham's job, to defend. And then once they've gone 1 down, it was probably damage limitation. Then they get their goal and it's like, we can hold on to this. And they did hold on to it fairly well, although they rode their luck a little bit, I guess. But we're not learning. Everyone keeps saying, Lincoln won't happen again. Newsflash, it just happened again. If you're going to win titles, you've got to learn from these things, and we're not doing it. And that's what worries me. And we've got Peterborough sniffing down us, and Sheffield Wednesday right down on there.
Behind us, Matt, Peterborough.
Well, they're coming up soon, December the 10th.
We'll beat them. We'll beat them at home.
Well, mate, you say that. We can't beat Cheltenham at home. We can't beat Lincoln at home.
Football doesn't work like that. Just because we can't beat one team who's down the bottom. This is the beauty of the English game and the English pyramid that Martin doesn't like, by the way. You know, you've got these. You've got these teams coming. When you look on paper at the fixture, Ipswich playing Cheltenham, who lost last Saturday, Matt, to Alvechurch. You know, in the FA Cup.
Well, I mean, that makes it even worse to me.
But it doesn't. It's not as easy as just. We think. I sometimes think as supporters, we actually think that we're going to turn up and we're just going to steamroll these teams, and it doesn't work. I said last night on the show, how many years did it take Sunderland to get out of this league? You remember when Jack Ross was manager there, Martin? How many draws did they have that season? They had loads of draws where they could not beat teams when you'd expect them to beat them. And at the end of the season, this is when we can all see if these games cost us at the end of the season. At the minute, we've played 18 games, you know. We've got, another 28 games to go. It's a long, long season. And like I say, everybody's going to have a blip now and again. And if this is our blip at the minute, you know, Exeter next Saturday, I think it's a massive game. I really think that it's going to be really tough down there. Anyone who thinks we're going there and we're just going to roll that lot over, no, we won't. No, but we've got to go
worried about that game. I'm officially worried about that game now.
But I think they'll give us the space to play. I think there might be a few goals down there next Saturday. I think could be quite an open game, but we need to get back to being better at the back, and we need to keep that door shut, don't we? We need to stop conceding them poor goals. We really do, and it's them individual mistakes, though, Matt. And look, I take on board what you're saying about Christian Walton. Yeah, he's made 2 errors, but I still count on him when the chips are down, when it's games later in the season, when them big saves are needed. He will win us some games. So I don't get anyone who's saying you take him out of the team. What's that going to do to his confidence? Straight down there.
Yeah,
Aleki knows his role. He knows his backup, and he knows he's probably going to play in the cup games. You know, unless Walton, if this continues as a downward, you know, his form, then you probably do have to address it. But at the minute, no, I'm not changing too much. We've got to keep. I think we've got to keep calm, and we've got to keep our fingers crossed, Gov, that by the end of December we don't get too many more injuries. You know, that's a thing that we need now to be. We've been quite unlucky, I think, with the injuries we've had. That they're not like a couple of weeks; they're bloody 2 or 3 months. Or your Don Ball who's out for the season. You know, you need that little bit of luck. And I'll tell you the main player we miss. People might say don't agree with me. The main player we miss at the minute is Lee Evans. Massively. And I can't believe I wasn't a Lee Evans fan at the start of the season. I can't believe I'm saying that. I think he gives us that control, Martin, on the ball. I think he's a really good player, and I'm really hoping he can be fit as soon as possible because I think we need him in that team. I really do.
Still in a brace, I think.
Is he out till January?
Still in a brace, I think, on Friday.
December, January time.
I'm worried about these injuries, I've got to say. When you told me about Don Ball yesterday and John Jules, is that it for John Jules now? Do you think he's just it will go back to
if they're assessing him, right, and it's hamstring surgery that he's going to have. Yeah. Hamstring, fair enough. If he's done his hamstring, he's going to be out. If he's going to have surgery, I might be sending him back to Arsenal and signing somebody else in January.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the loan will come to an end and I don't think you'll see him in a blue shirt again. They'll get someone else in. We're going to have to make some moves here. We've got too many injuries going down. It's to keep the progression of the promotion push. I mean, Ball's terrible. That's a real blow. That. I mean, I'm really disappointed by him. No one gets injured on purpose, do they? But he arrives within seconds. He's got an injury. Now he's out for the bloody season. Again, you're only as good as some of your parts, and he's not played a part particularly.
No, agree.
Well, a lot of players we brought in, and you're right, players don't get injured on purpose, have been injured. You know, Hadme has barely been fit.
But that's just luck of the draw. That's just what he's broke a bone.
Yeah, except when you say that, absolutely, I'll take the point. But it's not just the only player, is it? And when we had Evans here in charge, you got
get that ambulance out, is what I say. Get that.
We're getting close to that video again.
Very close to that. And were enough was enough. The question where I was heading with it was enough done in the summer to stockpile the cupboard in the key areas to avoid issues. Your striker, for example.
Yeah.
What was enough done?
Well, I don't know. Who were the new signings in the striking department?
Hadme and TJJ. They were the 3 strikers.
Hadme come just before the end of the window, didn't they?
Yeah, sort of last.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. But I mean, look, we're looking at this with the benefit of hindsight at the moment. But yeah, but maybe not. But it's still, you know, I mean, the Greg Lee injury. It started with the Greg Lee injury, didn't it? I think, and it's all gone downhill since then. But yeah, I am worried about them injuries. And then going to Exeter next week, I feel like we'll do well to get a point down there. That's what my thinking. If we are in the middle of this blip, because look, we've got, and it makes the Charlton result far worse now, doesn't it? Because if we had drawn at Charlton and then got 3 points yesterday, you're still averaging 2 points a game, and that's, you know, your promotion form. But we've dipped under that now for, I think, the first time.
We still are. We're still averaging 2 points a game over the 18 games. We've got 38 points.
Yeah, true. But I mean, look, we had a higher average than that previous.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but all teams are going to have them blips. It's just
they are.
This can't be. This can't keep going on along the blip, because now you've got Exeter, and then obviously you've got the FA Cup game. But then if you look ahead to December, which is just around the corner, you've got Fleetwood at home. We'd all expect to win, but we expected to win yesterday. Peterborough at home. Then you go to Wickham. Then you've got Oxford, and we know what Oxford are going to do, Gov, when they come down here. They're one of the fucking worst teams for time wasting you've seen in this league. And then you got Pompey away at the end of December. All big games, but surely this is where we want to be. We want to be involved in these big games, you know, not sitting meaningless like ninth in the table like we were last season and chasing the tails. It's still going to be, I think, when you look at that league table at the minute, 2 out of the 3, the top 2 out of the top 3 will go up.
Like and I'm here to tell you right now, we won't be us as part of that too. The fine margins are not favouring us.
Too early to say that. It's too early to say that when you've got 28 games to go.
Gut feeling. I'm having watched us play. It's a gut feeling. I do not think we have a ferocious killing mentality at the football.
I agree with that. I agree that we're too. Yeah, look.
In both boxes, you do not appear to want it more than your opposite number. You know, you can huff, you can puff, have all the quality in the world. Is it a case of believing that they're the best team in League One when they go a goal up? It's a job done in mentality. I don't know what it is, but right now.
But then you've got January around the corner. You could sign 2 or 3 players that make that, like the Marcus Stewart signing. You know, look at when we signed him from Huddersfield, from a rival.
Do you seriously expect them to do that? Because Ashton's already said, you know, January's not the greatest of times, you know, inflations of players.
If we've got injuries, I think we're going to have to dip in the market. You know, we're going to be lucky that we've got the finances, and you might, let's not get a Will Griggs situation here, Gov, when you bid in 1.5 million and it goes to 4, but we might have to pay a little bit. We might have to pay a little bit over the odds if we want a certain player, you know. But if
I circle back, Rich, you say that, and I circle back. If I'd given you 3 names in April of last year, Freddie Ladapo, Ghassan Hadmi, Tyrese John Jules, what would you have told me as a response to that? That would be the 3 strikers you bring into the football club.
Ladapo I'd have taken because he's done it at this level before, and I still think he'll score goals. He's a bit hit and miss. He is. He's a League One striker. But it depends. Obviously, I see Mike D there in the chat a while back. The famous dashboard is going to have to come out. It's going to have to come out, and they're going to have to be some signings that are going to make the difference, because we don't want to get in the playoffs. Like I said last night, and like Mike said a lot of the time, you know, the playoffs are a lottery. Once you get in there, you could have a bad refereeing decision. You know, it could be a bit of luck that goes against you. We've got to be in that top 2 when May comes around. You know, will we be in there? I don't know. I've not got a crystal ball to look into, but I just think that we're going to have them finances available in January where certain other teams, you know, Plymouth, could them loan players go back? You know, they could do.
We've got no divine right to be in the top 2, have we?
No,
We've just got to give ourselves the best opportunity to get in there. I agree with what Martin's saying. I think you have 60 shots combined against Lincoln and Cheltenham and score once. Speaks volumes for me. He's a bit worried now.
The difference was, I guess, yesterday we looked as if we could at any moment. Whereas at Lincoln, I don't remember too many chances where I thought, you know, we've rattled the woodwork, we've broken the keeper's nose, we've, you know, whipped the ball into the box, and it's just like Kamara right at the end, a fraction away from being a big moment for the new lad, who I think is a very good signing. That's very astute business by Ashton and co. That is, but
is he that midfielder when he's fit that can get in the box, Gov, and score some goals that we need?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I think he is, but I question where you play him, or who you play instead of him instead of, because Chaplin for going off I think right now our biggest issue is Chaplin's our best player. He's off the ball and we're off the ball because of it. But you've got Chaplin, you've got Harness, who's really a Chaplin sort of 2.0. Then you've got Kamara, who may play in the Chaplin position. So then you don't play Chaplin and Harness. Or do you play Kamara with Morsey? Then you're not playing Evans when he's fit. Or do you play
both? I think you can do both. I think he can do both, can't he?
But there's too many too many ingredient makers, but not enough actual finishing touch chefs that actually are there to stick it in the net. And I thought, for somebody who gets a lot of stick, I thought Caden Jackson was very good yesterday when he came on. Very good. Really made things work down that right side. He can certainly beat a fullback for pace and put a ball in the box.
His delivery's poor. His delivery's poor a lot of the time. He'll do the
Do we gamble enough on it? Do we gamble enough on it? Is there enough boys in the box gambling?
There was a great ball, I think, second half down the North Stand, and I think Leif Davis flashed it by the 6-yard box. Someone's got to break the neck, and someone's got to break the neck, and there's a goal. There is a goal for you. Get on the end of it. We don't do it, and then we bring on the big lad. We bring on the plan B, Matt. We bring on Big Cam Burgess.
Bring on Zorro.
How many times did Burgess touch the ball?
Probably that sounds I did.
But surely, why do you bring Cameron Burgess on, Matt?
Well, you were looking for the height, the disruption, weren't you?
Lump it in the box.
Yeah.
There you go. But we don't. But we didn't. We kept playing the same way.
That was a real
wasted substitution. He never looked like he was going to. I don't know.
That's the kind of sub you make when we're losing 1-0, which I think probably tells you what McKenna's mindset was in this game. 1-1 is feeling like a defeat.
Wednesday beat Cheltenham at home 3-0. You can't compare apples with oranges. It's the same game, but there's different situations. But you've got to at some point start at least walking away with 3 points, whether it be 1 goal, 4 goals, 8 goals, 10 goals against these sides.
That reminds me of what I was going to say earlier, the post-match interview. Now McKenna, who's so into preparation and the data and the dashboard, etc., suddenly goes, "Well, we're not getting the rub of the green." That to me was like a nonsense comment. Now he's blaming luck.
But also, what did he say? What did he say? What did I touch on the pod about 2 weeks ago about the amount of injury time? And I said, what was it? It was 7 minutes yesterday. Probably could have been more. There needs to be something in football where there's an independent timekeeper who takes care of that clock. The referee's got lots of things to worry about during that game. It's get someone in charge who's like in rugby, Matt. You have someone in charge of the clock, and that's it. The referee doesn't get involved with that. He concentrates on his decisions. I thought he was all right yesterday. I thought the ref weren't terrible. I thought we could have had a penalty. I thought we could have a penalty right in the end. Gov down your end. There was a handball waving in the air. It looked like it his hand.
Clear as day.
It was hand, yeah.
But teams who win leagues, well, I'll go back to our friends up the road when Farker was there. How many late goals did they score in games? This is where you need to make that. Look, he was unlucky yesterday. Kamara, the one that hit the inside of the post. But you need to win them games ugly. You scrape a last-minute winner. There's a deflection or something happens. But you make your own luck, don't you, at the end of the day? The good teams make the luck, guys.
Preparation, meeting opportunity, yeah.
Look at Brentford yesterday at Man City. There was a graphic they showed. 1-1, 95th, 6th, 7th, whatever it was. Brentford absolutely, Rico Henry, Tony, a couple of other players, absolutely break a leg to try and get into that box and win the game. And eventually they did do it. But there was that was fantastic to see. But look, there was no shortage of effort yesterday, was there? But
no, of course not. No,
I don't agree with the fact that we're not getting the rub of the green. 60 chances against Lincoln and Cheltenham. You just not but I remember hitting the post to the bar. He's not unlucky in my opinion. Just you haven't timed your shot right.
I remember sitting here after Lincoln, and I remember saying, and I said it out loud on the pod, I feel like we didn't have enough opportunities on goal, which sounded crazy when we had 30 odd chances because there wasn't enough quality opportunities. No. Whereas yesterday,
about goalkeepers, they have not worked. Their goalie done a couple of good saves. They already got smacked in the face. But
you see, yesterday I did feel we had more quality opportunities where it was a simple case of this is not going to be our day. For whatever reason, the post, the goalie's nose, a leg at the back post not being long enough. Like Gascoigne's studs at Euro 96. It just felt like, for whatever reason, it wasn't going to be our day unless you had a bit of magic, a bit of Kyle Edwards against Cambridge, for example.
But it didn't feel like that when we went 1-up, did it? It felt like it should have been 4 or 5, which is what some people were. Which
is where I circle back to the mentality. Do we get into this lull of it's done, it's dusted already, we're a goal up, we're in cruise control, and we take our eye off the ball?
Said it before. Said it before, the only team that beats Ipswich will be Town themselves. Gets too easy. Got too easy yesterday.
It's on a knife edge, the mentality, I think, because you got the 1-0, then it's suddenly 1-1. Suddenly Cheltenham could have got a second, couldn't they?
Yeah.
And then the North Stand decided to make some noise because it goes quiet when we concede, and telling everyone to sort themselves out. But I mean, it just seems to me that for someone who's so prepared, McKenna, and talks about the group, and you've got to think mindset and psychology plays a huge part in that, and the player profiles and all that kind of stuff. On the knife edge is our mindset. Easy could have gone 2-1 down by half time. In a game we were cruising.
Yeah, I'm sensing desperation. I'm sensing desperation from a fan base that's desperate to get out of this division. Well, that's what really it boils down to. Because you're second, and you're thinking it's a couple of games, it's a blip, it's okay. You still got a point in hand. It's all these, but because it's Ipswich Town in England's third tier, and we've been top before and fallen away under Lambert, not Sam McKenna's Lambert, and because we've been here for nearly 5 years now, we're just desperate to get out of this division. So every time you don't get an 8-0 or 3 points, it feels like the world's caving in on itself, because it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
What have we got to do to get rid of Cheltenham's, Accrington Stanley's, Lincoln's?
You get burnt. You've been burnt before. And suddenly that experience plays out in front of you. Yeah, absolutely. I think, look, it was such a missed opportunity yesterday. We said Friday night, didn't we? Make a statement win. 3-0. They've just gone off the back of a team that plays in the Southern Premier, Central Division in Overchurch. And then they've got to come to Portman Road, almost full house. That should have been a cricket score yesterday, but we couldn't do it. Again, we couldn't do it.
Exactly. And I get it. And I get the, it's as I said last week, you're a very positive person. And I feel like Rich is a really positive person, always positive, or you're a half glass full. And when you have a desperate situation like this, where you both love something so much, you have that.
Because if we're desperate here after 18 games, I think it's going to be a long season, guys. If we're this desperate,
it will be. Oh, it fucking will be until it's confirmed, Rich. Either way, it will be literally.
Keep your heads.
It'll be like the year Norwich had a countdown clock for Town getting relegated.
Keep your heads.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
that's what it'll feel like. You're literally and what's this big deal? We finished 5th that year. By
the way, I did tune in to talk Norwich City this week. What I didn't realise was Norwich and the local media, like that, not talking to each other. They're not allowed. No. They had a big fallout over I think someone from the Milwaukee Brewers has bought a minority stake in Norwich City.
He looked a little bit like Fabio Capello, I thought. From
he's Italian-American fella. And they broke the story, and Norwich got the ump with them. They've broken the trust, apparently.
Yeah. Adi Croucher, who made a debut yesterday, said it's called Passion for Our Club. It's very true. Very true.
We're all passionate. We all want the same thing at the end of the day. We're arguing on here and whatever and arguing at the top. We all want to get out of this league because we can't stand being in it.
We don't want to be playing bloody Cheltenham again next season, do they?
No.
Let's get out of this, and we're not helping ourselves. And I don't think it's acceptable when you've got the biggest budget. You're paying championship wages.
On that, I certainly don't want to be playing Cheltenham anymore. There's no money in playing Cheltenham, but if you do want to give some money to the pod, you can hit the link to our kofi, come and Talking Town Fifth Stander, or hit the join button on YouTube. $4.99. You won't get better value, I don't think, than becoming a Talking Town, and you get access to the Discord, where there are rules being introduced to the Discord as we speak for attitudes and language and all sorts. Won't say what happened, but
I just crossed the line. Some people. Gov encouraged him, didn't he? Gov encouraged him. He did.
No, I didn't. That is a yellow card.
If I speak, I'm in trouble, as Martin was saying.
It's a yellow card. I did not encourage it. I'm a good boy. Good boy. Selena, before I bring in, I've got Mike and Colin waiting. I'll go with Colin first.
Here's another firework for you, everybody. Selena. What's this, Rich? You've been tweeting, have you?
Oh, come on. It was 11:45 last night. I was off to bed and I thought I'd have a bit of fun.
Oh, you weren't being serious then? You wouldn't want Selena?
I'd have signed him last summer, 100%. But I know there's rules that probably we can't get him back now with his work permit. But I think them games like yesterday, and everyone will say, oh, he didn't do it last season. He wasn't 100% fit. He had COVID. A lot of circumstances. Maybe I'm making excuses wrong. I'll always be a Selena fan. I just think we need someone like that. Because at the end of the day, everyone's like hammering Freddie yesterday on the socials. Well, hang on. The two players behind him stunk the place out. And they have. The last few games, the two 10s, Chaplin and Harness, have been poor. There's no getting away from it. They've been poor.
It goes back to what we said earlier, wasn't it? Away games, the depot looks far or got far more energy because he gets the service. He don't seem to get the service at Bournemouth Road because they're too busy passing the ball around for 700 passes a game.
Yeah, but I can honestly say I've never sat at Bournemouth Road this year and thought, do you know what this game really misses? This game really needs right now is a burst Sansalina. At no point have I said that this year.
I've got to say.
At no point. I mean, last year I was saying it. I don't think this game needs burst Sansalina. He was that bad last year. But I certainly don't think it now. And I don't want to go back to that well. No. You say he was pursued all summer. Nobody knows except the football club and the player. All I know is he didn't come to Portman Road, and I'm happy with who we've got. Marcus Arns and Connor Chaplin. I think they're both better players now and in the long term. I actually would like a striker. Somebody who actually knows how to get across the front of a centre-half to meet the ball as opposed to a yard behind.
That then begs the question we were talking at halftime yesterday. With Bond sitting on the bench at QPR, do we go back for him? No,
take off the blue glasses, everybody.
But he is a fox in the box. He is a fox in that box. Like most of his goals.
One goal in 30 games.
In the box.
Yeah, no, great. No, but listen, we said earlier, didn't we? January is not the time where you're going to make huge money.
Support Town, we wouldn't even bring up his name. We wouldn't even be in the conversation. I'm a Goalkeeper fan. But his time at Town's gone.
Selena's hasn't.
I'm not so sure. We'll see.
What I would ask is for the statos among the chat, where have Bond's goals predominantly come from? Have they been in that 6-yard box? Are they? Because if they are, if he is a 6-yard box killer, then I'm looking at yesterday and I'm thinking we need that because you need somebody who knows how to read where that ball's being threaded into the corridor of uncertainty. Because right now, none of our players want to enter the corridor of uncertainty. They all reach it, have a vortex in front of it, and go, oh,
yeah.
Then certain people would say, why don't you play 2 strikers?
Yeah, absolutely. There's that conversation as well.
You know,
you could have one. Yeah,
I'd love to ask McKenna what does he see as the advantage of paying just the one up top and the 2 behind, as opposed to having 2 strikers?
It's sexy, and all these teams do it now from the bloody top level, and it filters down, man.
Here's a question:
playing that, we've got to play that way.
Where did Burgess play when he come on? Was he a striker or a number 10?
He was fucking nothing.
I mean, that's the question. Right?
I don't want to see Cameron Burgess up front for Town again.
Was he the pivot? Was he the pivot between the midfield and the attack? Get a ball to Burgess' feet and get him playing.
Those Cheltenham fans who are on Alex Griffin's video and going, we just want to keep the score down. It's going to be 3-4. Must be pissing themselves seeing Cameron Burgess come on and they're trying to win the game with their centre-half going up top.
Yeah, but that, taking the Town specs off, taking this is the fan platform for Towns by Town fans by Town fans. That's what football's all about, isn't it? Going away from home to a bigger stadium, to a bigger fan base, to a team that's got XYZ wage budget, and walking away with a point where you think, how we've got a point, but
they were non-leagues not so long ago.
But then putting the Town stuff back on, I fucking hate football. Bollocks, isn't it?
Was Kieran McKenna watching videos of Paul Warhurst on Friday night, do you think, Matt? When Paul Warhurst turned from centre-half to striker, and he was bundling goals in for fun, wasn't he, for Sheffield Wednesday?
Ian Marshall did the same, didn't he, at Oldham?
Yeah. But Marshall hated playing didn't he?
The old shooting McGavin.
And then obviously fell out with Joe Royal, and then there you go. There was a celebration.
Mike D saying Stuart Pearce bought on David James. Imagine we put a lad.
We talked about that the other day. We spoke about that, didn't we?
Because he had John Macken on the bench, didn't he?
Yeah, John Macken, ex-Town loan player, by the way.
Is there any truth, Matt, that you're duetting with Alex Griffin for a Christmas single?
Well, he's not asked me, so I've been pricing out.
He's got a studio in Essex somewhere.
Yeah, you were saying Friday. I need to have a look to see where this is.
16 games we've played against Peterborough. We've won a grand total of 3, Colin. So you've got no right to call anybody Tim Pot. Out of 16 games, we've won 3. 3.
All right, Colin.
Oh, dear. Oh, okay.
He's not happy with that one, is he?
No.
You keep calling them out, Colin. You call them out. I have to do their comments.
I'm letting you speak to me first, and then I'll give you the answers.
Every time I log in, I get a new comment from a Peterborough fan saying,
what's his name on there? I did comment last Monday saying, have you not got your own...
Here we go. It's the gang against the little kid in the playground again. Right. Okay. My answer to that, Mr. Gov, is this. Do you want the answer or not? Peterborough United fans listening?
Right.
Right.
Not. One of them.
They are though. They are. That's the problem. They are though. They are.
Right. First Division champions, FA Cup winners, UEFA Cup winners. God knows how many times we're finishing the top 6 of the top flight. Peterborough United, you are tin pot.
Yeah, but we ain't there in a minute. In 2022,
that's it.
Colin.
Rich, don't argue with me, Rich, because that's fact.
Yeah,
that's fact. They are tin pot. They're below us. They got further below us yesterday because they bloody well lost.
We couldn't beat Cheltenham. We've got 175 fans.
Contrary to what some people are saying, that everybody's catching us up. Well, they're not. Sheffield Wednesday did, but Peterborough certainly didn't.
Hang on.
I'll tell you what we've got to be careful about next Saturday. Like I said to Rich, for weeks and weeks and weeks, Exeter City score goals. And quite a few of them at that. They're very, very good going forward. But I think that'll help us next Saturday. I really do. It'll create spaces. I totally agree with what Rich said earlier on. I think there'll be quite a few goals there next week. I would predict a kind of Plymouth Exeter game there next week. I'd say there'd be 5 or 6 goals there next week.
Get behind the sofa if you're watching then. Get behind the sofa if you're watching on Sky. Right, here we go again.
And I think we'll be on the right side of it.
See, I agree with Heidi Oldfield's comment there, Colin. I agree with that. Heidi says, not sure how our history can make us call them tin pot. We ain't any better than them now. We're on about now. Not in
we are because answers on a postcard. We are right now because we're higher than them. Full stop.
They were championship last season, though, Colin.
Yeah, but they're not now, Matt.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, they do.
They're not now. By the way, yesterday's game. Been thinking about it today. There was one game in particular in my mind that really reminded me of yesterday. England versus Poland, which more or less cost Sir Alf Ramsey his job.
Oh yeah.
When we didn't qualify for the '74 World Cup. Goalkeeper called Tomaszewski, who the famous Brian Clough, God rest his soul, called a clown before the game.
He did, yeah.
And we had about 190 chances, and Alan Clark scored an equaliser with a penalty, I believe. I think it finished 1-1. That more or less cost us a qualification for Germany '74. And that game reminded me so much of that game that night. It was actually live on the TV, which was very, very unusual in those days. But that game reminded me so much of that game. Also, going back to what Rich was saying, I love listening to old Rich. He was talking about Burgess playing up front. Turn it round the other way, talking about dear old Brian Clough, rest in peace. He did the same in opposite to a player called Kenny Burns.
Kenny Burns.
He used to play up front for Birmingham. When he went to Nottingham Forest, he played at the back alongside Larry Lloyd, and he finished up winning the European Cup with his medal.
Good team, that.
Yeah, what's a good sign? What's a good sign? Yeah, I remember PM running him ragged a few times, but there you go.
Comment here from Marcus Gladding. What about Burns? Absent again, Colin.
Been a bad week for him, isn't it? Always.
Yeah, poor old Wes. He's had, look, I'm coming at the end of my working life. Worked all my life, and we all work. We all have bad days. We all have bad weeks, if not months sometimes, with a lot of people who suffer with their mental health and everything. And I'll tell you what, Wes has gone through a bloody bad week, possibly a bad couple of 3 weeks. If we was behind the scenes, probably maybe a bad couple of weeks, And I'll tell you the God's honest truth. I was just a teeny weeny bit surprised he started yesterday, if I'm quite honest.
Mindset.
I wondered because of what's happened and how his head would have been.
Yeah, good point.
Bless him. I wonder whether Kieran might have started him on a bench yesterday and brought him on for half hour to go. But yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I think games like next week, Gov, I think it will suit Wes even more, because you'll have that attack and force and Exeter. And I'll tell you what, I've got a lot of time for that lot. I'll tell you. Unlike old Tim Pot, I like old Exeter. I watched them against Plymouth the other week, and I'll tell you what, I texted Rich several times. I was really, really impressed with them. Really impressed with them going forward. I'll tell you what, we got to be defensively switched on next week. 100%.
Let's not talk them up too much. We're playing Exeter City, right? And if we've got any aspirations of getting out of this division, we'll go there and do the stuff. We've got to get the 3 points.
Yeah, I said, Rich, if you listened to me a little while ago, Rich, I'm sure you did. I think we'll be on the right side of it. But I think there'll be quite a few goals. Like I say, I think there'll be an Exeter Plymouth kind of game in reverse. We're going to the real St James's Park, Rich.
Yeah, the real St James's Park.
That's what they call it on. That's what they call it on the old soccer AM.
Before I bring Mike in, what are your overriding thoughts from yesterday? Who stood out? Who didn't? Why couldn't we put the ball in the net? You've seen a lot of football in your life. So before I bring Mike in, what's your overriding thoughts? My
overriding thoughts is, look, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I've sat down for a little while and thought about it. Of course I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed like everybody else. It's a game that we should have won. I mean, that amount of chances, percentage-wise, you should be winning that game by at least 3 clear goals, if not 4.
Yeah.
So I'm disappointed. I'm of the opinion, people are saying different things about different players. I'm not going to get involved with that today. I'm a great believer in whoever pulls the blue shirt on, or the yellow jersey, or whatever it be at the back. I support them, and I will do next Saturday. But I must say, I think, unlike some people, and that's a game of opinions. We all know that. I thought Humphries played really well again yesterday. I wouldn't say he was I'd say no more than a 7, but I thought he had a really good game again. I thought, like yourself, I thought Jacko done all right when he came on, to be fair. I think Freddie needs to... I like Freddie Ladapo, and I certainly like him as a person. I think he needs to up his game a little bit, if I'm honest. And like Rich and you and Matt and yourself said a little while ago, I think Connor and Wes and Marcus and whatever, that they need to up the games. There's no doubt about that, and they know that. And I'm quite in agreement with Rich. I don't really particularly want to see Burgess pretending to be Ian Rush again, So I think we'll leave that, put that one to bed and put him. Look, I'll tell you what. A lot of people might laugh at what I say. I don't really care. I'll pick Burgess next week. I'll pick him next week, 100%. I'll tell you what, he's a quality defender, and I was quite surprised he didn't start yesterday, to be honest with you. But like I say, you support who pulls the blue shirt on. But I wouldn't be surprised if he played next week. He's a wholehearted old boy, and I think that's a place next week that we're going to have to do quite a lot of serious defending. And
who's he coming for, Colin? Who comes out of the side for you then? If you're putting Burgess in, we've got to lose someone, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, JD, I don't think is playing next week. So I think you might push Edmondson, or I would anyway if I was picking the side. I'd put Edmondson over to the right. I'd have Wolfie where he normally is in the centre, and then Burgess on the left, a quality left foot.
Yeah,
that's what I do. And also, you have then 3 central defenders, if that's what you want to call them, or a back 3, if that's what you want to call them, who are basically nearly all decent in the air, and I think we might. There's a lot of clubs looking at us now. I think we spoke about we paved over it a bit yesterday. I think there's a lot of clubs targeting, especially when we're playing away at their ground kind of thing. I think there's a lot of teams targeting us, and Cheltenham certainly did, as Richard know, targeting us with that aerial threat. Yeah. And I think Burgess could be, with Wolfie and Edmondson, I think that could be
don't we play a back four though, Colin? Don't we play back four?
What, Rich?
We've been playing back four though. We've been playing a back four though, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, Rich. But I'm suggesting that, Rich, if you was playing a three, So I don't know. I suppose if you're playing a back four, as you quite rightly say, Rich, I suppose KVY KVY obviously stays in.
All right, Colin, we're going to bring Mike in. I do like listening to you.
I don't think we played a back four yesterday.
Well, where did Vincent Young play?
Huh?
Vincent Young played right back when he came on. He went the third centre back.
Who did?
Vincent Young played right back.
Not a traditional right back, I would say.
I think we were so dominant we played a two at the back, and everyone else is in the other half.
Four at the back yesterday.
Gav, could I just say one last thing? And I mean this to everybody. Please, old Rich always has a little bit of tongue in cheek with me about keeper face. He never ever has to say that to me, as he knows. But everybody, come on, keep the faith, for God's sake. Like I said in the chat earlier on, we're second in the league. We've got a great chairman. We've got a fantastic CEO. We've got a fantastic manager. We've got a superb team, and more than that, we've got a superb team spirit. All right, we've got a lot of injuries. We've got superb fans who travel all over this country in big numbers, and you all know who you are. 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, up to 7,500 at times travel all over the place watching this club. Everything is, the owners are about at the moment. I hope they're listening to this. Thank you for everything you've done at this football club. It, like Rich quite rightly says, we're a million miles away from where we were 12, 15, 18 months ago under Jeff Hurst, love child. Paul Hurst, people like that. Paul Lambert and that, it's all gone, All right, we've had a bad day at the office yesterday, and we've had 26, 29 chances, whatever it was, and we've only put one away. But come on, it's gone now. We ain't lost the game. We're still second, and let's go to Exeter with our heads held up high, and let's go there. And like Rich said, we're playing Exeter. I totally agree with the boy. Let's go there. Let's, have a great game of football, which it will be, I'm sure, and come back with them 3 points. And also, I'll be there, and I haven't seen them lose on the road yet. So, and I don't foresee them losing next week.
Good man. Right, Colin, look after yourself. All the best. Right, Mike's up next. Let's keep it to opinions, not people.
You need to make more noise, though, you say, Matt, when the away fans go.
Oh, but the Bracknell one was ludicrous. Everyone was just like...
You've got no roof. You've got no roof, and you can't create any atmosphere outside. That's what I'll say.
It just looked like a bunch of holiday makers leaning on a fence to me. But I mean, look, at least they were there.
At least they were there, mate.
At least they were there.
Right. Mike, welcome in. How are you, Mike?
Hello, Mike.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, thank you.
Good, man. Right. What are your thoughts on yesterday? Lots of talk in the chat, a lot of talk, obviously, on the show.
Mike doesn't look happy, everybody, if you're listening to this on audio.
He does not look happy. I'm nervous. Go on, Mike. Over to you. Your chance to have your say.
Am I allowed an opinion?
You're allowed an opinion, just not allowed to attack anybody with it.
Oh, right. Oh, I see. So
neither is he.
So Richard saying my opinions was utter nonsense and other people's opinions was utter nonsense is not attacking our opinions, then, is it? So
no,
it's all right. It's all right for Richard to do that, but not for me to retaliate. Yeah. And I get Mike's on the second warning naughty step crap. Yeah.
Yeah. It's my show.
Oh yes. Yeah. Well, okay, it's fine. If that's how you want to be, I'll leave.
All right.
Get Get back on. Get back on. Get back on.
Look, anyway, look, let's
I do love you. I do love you.
Walton, I'm not asking for Walton to be dropped at all. I've not said that. I think, Rich, you read things wrong sometimes. I think people are allowed to have an opinion, allowed to have
There's certain people saying that he should be dropped for a lacquer. I'm not. You didn't say it, but there's certain people saying that.
Yeah, but I didn't say that. But you called me out on it. Listen, Walton hasn't been great. The last 4 goals I think we've conceded is, in fairness, has been down to him. His kicking's not been great lately. I mean, there was nearly another mistake yesterday with his kicking.
True.
You know, he's not been playing well, and I'm not saying he should be dropped, but he's close to being dropped.
No.
Absolutely, he is. And I'll tell you who else. Didn't have a great game yesterday.
I know you can say. I know you can say that.
No, he was bad.
Was woeful.
Andy Warren didn't agree. You give him an 8.
Well, Andy Warren is a journalist, not a coach or a manager. So his opinion is the same as my opinion. In my opinion, just saying, I don't think he was very good.
No, and he stifled us yesterday. There was times where he could have moved that ball quicker. Obviously, I watch it on my iFollow armchair. You know, being the chairman of it and all, and that, because I I'm not a real fan if I don't go to real games. So, and I can tell you now, listening to the Cheltenham commentators, because that was who I was watching. They even said that our midfield was just getting we were all out attacking. There was gaps between our midfield and our defenders like you wouldn't believe. And Cheltenham at times exploited that. You know, we don't have a natural attacking midfielder. Maybe Evans. But Morsey is not an attacking midfielder.
You've got Kamara, Mike, when he's fit.
Sorry?
Kamara when he's fit.
Yeah, possibly. Lee Evans and Kamara maybe. But Morsey, for me, has got to do what I've said it before, said it again. He's got to do what he does best. And that's sit and hold, protect the back 3, back 4. If we were playing back 4 yesterday, then Fridge was well out of position. Do you know what I mean? He was well out of position. You know, so if we're playing a back 4, then Fridge is out of position. So to me, it looked like a back 3. I agree with Matt. And Rich, you say we've got aspirations of getting out of this league, and we've got to beat teams like Exeter. We needed to beat teams like Charlton. We needed to beat teams like Cheltenham. This is why fans like me get so upset and so irate and so down, because I've grown up like Colin. Colin's grown up a lot longer than I have, with the club being successful and having such a great era and a great present in East Anglia. And in the last 16 years, we've had to tolerate them northern, above the Suffolk border, horrible green bogey team up there.
It's hardly north, is it?
Well, it's north of where I am anyway. And we've had to sit in their shadow a bit, and I don't like that at all. You know, I'm old school, and I don't subscribe to all this modern day football. You know, we are League One for a reason, and that is because we haven't been good enough to stay in the Championship. We've now got owners and a manager. Look, I like McKenna, but yesterday he's sticking. Hey, it's my fishing. I've been sorting out my fishing shed. Yeah, I should have realised.
Sorry.
We've got a manager yesterday who did a pull duel, and that was stick defender on up front to try and get a win. We cannot. We're winning. We're getting more points away from home than we are at home, and we need to make Portman Road a place where we need to score goals. Put teams to bed. For me, people slating Wes Burns didn't have a bad game. He had players around him that had a bad game. Chaplin, Harness, again. I know Harness hit the crossbar, and was it over the line? I thought it was. I've seen stills of it. It's one of them 1966 moments. Unless you've got VAR, you ain't never gonna see whether it was or not. At the end of the day is in this tiki-taka, lovely, pretty football that looks lovely when we're winning, but when we needed to get a result, sometimes you've got to play a bit ugly to get that result, and we're not doing that. We're not aggressive enough. We're not ruthless enough. there's times when there was times yesterday when you think someone take a shot from outside the area, and it weren't. We needed to. Oh, let's pass the ball around a bit more before we take a shot. We need to be putting these teams to bed, and I am sick of being in League One. The thought of we've got to play Exeter next week. The only time I want to play Exeter is in the FA Cup.
Yep.
The only time I want to play
Agreed.
Cheltenham is if we get drawn against them in the FA or Carabao Cup.
Agreed.
I don't want to be playing these. I want to be playing the Middlesbroughs, the Blackburns.
Set your sights high, ain't you?
Well, for next season, this season right now, we have got to get these results in early. We cannot be waiting to the end of the season, sitting there going, oh, this is a must-win game. This is a must-win game. We have got to get the job done now. And if that means Kieran McKenna's got to change the way he's playing the game, then he's got to do it. He's got to. If we have to go two up front to try and to get more people in the box when the ball's put across, there was a lovely couple of balls put across there yesterday. No one was in the box.
Yeah.
It's basic 101 football, and we can all agree in different on opinions of how players. Look, I've not been Jackson's favourite fan. I thought he did well when he came on. He offered more than Harness and Chaplin put together. And I know, right? And like I said, it's all about opinions. And at the end of the day, is Jackson for me was maybe he should have started. He's playing better than Chaplin and Harness right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not Jackson's favourite fan.
Someone better check on Satan. I think hell's just frozen over. Good Lord.
So, the reality is...
Yeah, I agree with everything you say, Mike.
Yeah. The reality is I'm not calling for Walton to be dropped. I'm certainly not doing that. But he's not covered himself in glory recently. No. He's, when was the last time we won a league game?
It was the Derby game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Derby. That's it. Yeah. And that's 1 in 5 now, isn't it?
Port Vale.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah. That's okay. 2 in 6, I think, something silly like that. But Charlton 2-goal leads away. You can't do that. Yesterday was an absolute kick in the teeth for me.
Kick in the gonads.
It was. I felt like someone had got me twins and twisted them, because that's how I felt after the game. I felt absolutely sick.
I felt angry after the game. Becky came over with the tickets and I was ranting. I was solid gone. I don't do it on the camera, but I was solid ranting, like anger.
Disappointing, wasn't it? It's an afternoon that started so brightly. What did McKenna say? This is the best 20 minutes we've had at home since I've been here. And look at the end result. The
20 minutes, the first 20 minutes of that game, I thought, Jesus Christ, we are going to put 5 or 6 past this team.
Yeah, I thought that, yeah.
And then we hit the post, and then there was like, why aren't you taking a shot? What? Seriously, someone put the laces through it. Someone have a shot from outside the area. No, let's make another pass. We're passing for the sake of passing.
Yeah.
And it may look good. We can do that. We can do that nice sort of pretty passing when we're 2 or 3 up. Well, actually, no, we can't do that when we're 2 up, can we? When we're 3 up, when we're 3 up, we can do that.
Yeah.
But right now, we need to get these results, and we need to get them in early so that we can sit there at the end of the season and relax a little bit.
Yeah, totally agree.
It's going all the way till the end, guys. It's going right till the end of the season.
And I just don't fancy us. I just don't fancy us.
You don't fancy us in that scenario either, I've got to say.
If we can do a bit of good business in the January window, I still think top two's very, very possible. My concern is we are lacking firepower.
Yeah.
Against weak teams, we're doing all right against slightly better teams, but against weaker teams, we're kind of struggling a little bit. Is there a plan B? I question whether there's a plan B at the moment.
Cameron Burgess, Mike.
Yeah, that was a bit embarrassing, if I'm honest. I thought that was Desperado and Paul Jewell.
Yeah.
The day before, was it 2 days?
I agree with you there, Mike, about making signings in January. I think we just need to scrape maybe a few results towards like through November into December. And if we're going to be in the mix come January, I think we've just got to hang around that top 2. Then January comes and hopefully we can get some players back. But I think we can make a couple of signings. I don't know who they'll be, but I think
who would you go? Not names, obviously, but what sort of positions would you like to see? I'd like to bring another striker. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
I think if John Jules is out for any length of time, I think you're going to have to anyway. Yeah, if he's
I'd bring in one anyway. Regardless of whether John Jules is out or not, I'd bring in another striker. I really would. I think
you looking at low market, Mike, or are you thinking we'll punt some money up?
Look, if we have to spend £3 million for a decent striker that gets us out of this league, that's money well spent, isn't it?
It is, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
You know, because with respect, we don't get out of this league this year, God forbid, and I'm hoping we do, like every Town fan. If we don't, and we end up in this league again next year, there'll be season tickets not renewed. There'll be players leaving. Yeah. And we'll end up.
You'll still sell a lot of season tickets, Mike. You're not going to have a meltdown.
No, I'm not saying we won't.
I agree with you. The one for me, like I said to you last night, Gov, is Kieran McKenna. If we don't get out of the league this season, someone will come and take our manager.
Yeah, so you mentioned limping through to January. You've got Exeter, Fleetwood, Peterborough, Wickham, Oxford, and Portsmouth as your games between now and January.
They're tough games, I think. That's a lot of games in a short period of time, isn't it? That's before even the window's open.
That's not counting Carabao. That's not counting Carabao or FA Cup games.
Six games.
2, 4, 6 games. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got your Papa Johns in there too.
If we win 3, lose 3, we'll still be in the mix, won't we?
Yeah. 14 points, Mike.
Yeah, 9 to 12, I'd be happy with. And look, the reality is that if we can get to 45 points, which is I call a halfway stage, that's and we can strengthen in the January window. And I do think we need to strengthen. If we are, if we have to spend £2 or £3 million on a player, a striker, someone with some quality, and I know it's okay, who? I know that's the big question, isn't it? Who? For me, that's £3 million well worth spent, and we go up to the Championship, and we will have that money, have extra money.
That's not our job to decide who it is. That's up to the powers that be to get these players in the building, isn't it?
We all have opinions on who I'd like. I mean, look, reality. We all said, I think, at the beginning of the season, but look, we're not going to get Clark, John Harris. I can't remember his name.
Clark Harris.
We're not going to get him. But
Colin wants him.
I agree with Colin. I would go with him, but I also agree with Colin regarding Burgess. I'd bring him in. I really would. And maybe do what he said: put Edmondson on their right-hand side of the 3, and play Burgess on that left.
Yeah,
I've got no problems with that.
I could talk all football all afternoon with you, but I can't.
Yeah,
so
great point, Mike. I agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, likewise. when you calm yourself down, you're actually a very intelligent.
I am calm, but when I'm getting picked on, I'm bullied.
Yeah.
Picked on. Oh, hang on. You need one of them t-shirts that Balotelli had that time.
Yeah, why always me? Why always I follow?
Yeah, I know.
Do you know, actually, Mike, before you go, because I will forget otherwise, there was several people who actually were looking forward to meeting you yesterday around the statue, and they were asking, where's Mike? Where's Mike in the count? And I was like, it's a Saturday. You won't get Mike.
They probably will want to punch me.
He comes to Fleetwood, mate. He comes to Fleetwood. Fleetwood on the Friday.
Friday. No, but I will be at the Peterborough one, the one that's lunchtime kickoff.
The lunchtime, yeah.
In Pot City.
You know what? If I can do that Friday one, I will.
Brilliant.
It's all to do with whether I can get cover at work.
Can't they just call you from where you are?
Yeah.
And then you can just sort of text me.
I can take orders, and you lot can abuse me.
I was in a cinema once, watching a comedy show, and the comedian asked this woman what she did for a living, and she was the woman that takes the calls when your credit card is stolen. So midway halfway through the show, she had to take a call, and it was like, if she can do that, then you can certainly might be taking, the
I don't have my wife's magic hands. She can multitask. I can't. I ain't gonna lie. She's talking about what your wife is looking a bit pregnant.
Yeah, we keep her off here. We keep her off here. She's very much way off here. So.
Oh, I know, but bless her, she's looking well.
Brilliant, great stuff.
I can't. Bye, Mike.
Mike was looking like he was expecting last time I see him.
No, none of that.
It's interesting. We've got Mike D's thing there. Like I say, I agreed with everything what Mike said there, and also Mike D here. We make poor decisions in the final third all the time. Why did Mount Morsey, when we got that free kick that Edmondson bravely put himself in on that 50-50 ball, won the free kick, shoot a goal? He stuck it out not once but twice to the left because they had to retake it.
To me about Morsey, because people will say you're sticking up for Jaden Jackson, but it wasn't just Jackson yesterday. There was 2 players at the exact same time on the right side in front of me, made a run And then Morsey took 1 second longer than he should have done putting the ball through, and they were both offside. Now, if that's just once and you duplicate that across 90 minutes, everyone around me then goes, bloody hell, Jackson, you're always in offside. And I'm like, well, if the ball was put through when they both expected it to, no one's offside. You know, and we're just not fast enough with those release shots. You know, our forward players, Leif Davis being one of them, makes a run. The problem is, once you've made a run, you've then got to get yourself back on to be onside for the ball, but you can't in that time. So you're offside 8, 9, 10 times out of 10. Because
how do you think Cameron Humphreys did yesterday? Home league debut, right? I'm thinking that. Yeah,
he got over it. For me, I didn't fancy his performance at all. But
he missed out the interception, didn't he? That led to the goal.
Oh, I can't blame him for that. It was only, you know, I can't blame him for
read
that
it. To be fair to him, but here's a question for you. Then we were debating this at half time yesterday. Bishop or Humphreys? Who's the better player at this age? Because, like, obviously, Bishop 10 years ago reached that 2012 season, I think.
2014-15, the playoff season.
Oh, it was that one. Yeah, scores at Bournemouth.
Teddy had a great. Teddy's a very talented player, but we've spoke about him on here. I've spoken with him about him on the Lincoln pod. Look, he's injury prone. You know, he doesn't play enough football. I thought Humphreys was all right yesterday. I thought nothing more, nothing less. Thought he done okay, but he's going to have to be. Look, he's going to be needed from now till
I think he's going to be
the end of December, Gov, because you're running very, very thin in the middle of the park, and you've got to get. Kamara's probably not fit. We spoke about him on Friday. That Kieran said he's still behind. Obviously, he's had no pre-season, but
he did look.
He's going to have to have minutes, and we've got them cup games. You know, how do you manage them? Because
Kamara against Buxton, surely.
I'd have thought so.
Kamara and Humphreys, maybe. Don't want to risk any. This is the problem, isn't it? We don't want to risk any more injuries against Buxton.
No. But I don't know. You talking about.
Worry about Exeter first. Worry about the next.
Just a lot of games on the horizon before the window opens.
Yeah, well, he have to manage it. That is his job, and it is his first job in football, as Darryl says here, who is also staggered at how negative it's become. A kind of disappointing draws, a bad sin does not make. Let's not forget we were 12 months ago. Yeah, but 12 months ago, it was, excuse my French, shit. And we all said it was shit. So it should be better, because otherwise we'd be back in the shit. Like, I can't compare. That's like comparing Lambert with.
Yeah, and also you can't just say, "Oh, it's McKenna's first job in football." I'll put my arm around him and give him a bit of time. Yeah, he's got the job for a reason, because he's supposed to be shit hot.
Oh, but no,
we all love McKenna. We all love McKenna.
Nobody's mentioned McKenna. Like, nobody said, "Oh, you know, is he doing the right?" No, everyone loves McKenna, but
I think the excuses came out yesterday. This rubber the green stuff. I think that the pressure has got to him a little bit.
Maybe. No.
He's dropped a 2-goal lead at Charlton.
He hasn't dropped a 2-goal lead at Charlton.
Well, he has.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
He's responsible for it as manager. And
now,
I get he's responsible, but I think we just need to, like I said before, we need to just chill out a little bit. We're still second in the division. We played 18 games. Nothing is decided in November. You know, it's a long season.
December it comes thick and fast. Yeah,
but we do need to pick up a few wins. We need to go on a run of 3 or 4 games and put everyone at ease a little bit, Matt, you know, because we are quite a nervous fan base through what's happened before, you know, if something we've been burnt and we have been burnt before, but I think it's different this time. We just need to trust the management team and trust the players, because you have to enjoy this ride, you know. I know it's November and we had a crap result against Cheltenham and we all expect to beat them. We all expect to beat them, right?
You can't enjoy it, Rich. You can't.
They were 10-1 yesterday to win the game.
Football. Why are we going to games if we don't enjoy it?
No. Think of McCarthy's year when we were top of the
McCarthy, that was a segue.
Right? But think of that. That was really enjoyable, because not a single man, woman, or child before the season would have had Town top of the table at Christmas Day, right? So you were loving it, like last year's fans for Wigan, but they were loving life because they were top. They weren't expecting it. It's like, yes, love this. Ipswich Town expects to be a top 2 team. So every time you stumble, you tremble, you fall over, you trip over, you're not enjoying it, because you're expecting to turn up yesterday and rock a team 8-0 and think nothing of it. Whether you do or not, as remains to be seen. But what I would say is, half-time, if this podcast had the audio issues that football club has, we would get nothing but pelters.
It was awesome.
They dealt with that tower system.
That was the new PA, right? That was the new
apparently.
one.
This is a bunch of people, I'll call it amateur hour.
Yeah, it was.
If we had that audio issues on our live broadcasts, we'd get
What's
penalties
going
in
on?
my life.
The guys
going
sat
on?
around me and said, "It's so unprofessional. You got the two ambassadors on the pitch to talk, and Milton can't talk.
Unbelievable.
Ludicrous."
It was absolute, and they gave up in the end.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
well, I imagine they did. I lost the audio, and then they disappeared. So
Yeah. Big shout
um,
out to the guy who, I think his name was John Holden, played the last post yesterday. Superb. Really good.
very good.
Really, yeah, as Rich said earlier, that was great credit to the fan base and the Cheltenham fans. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. We're back tomorrow, 8:30. Me, Benjamin, Adams, and somebody else. I can't remember who. We'll look at the realistic point target for between now and New Year. We'll look at overreaction Monday. So if you've got an overreaction, either up here or down here to the weekend's
That's our fan base overreacting. Fucking hell, to a T. We've done it today.
Hey, we've had Haaland's overrated. Virgil van Dijk, I think, was overrated. Somebody said. Leif Davis and 2 other Town players win the World Cup squad next time. We've had some great overreactions. Really have. It's the whole point of it. Just take what you've seen and overreact. So maybe Christian Walton now is the worst goalkeeper you've ever seen. I don't know. It's an overreaction Monday. Get thinking about it. But thank you for watching us. It's been a passionate show.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to representing Talking Town tomorrow night because I'm going down to the disability training. We raised all that money, so we're presenting the tracksuits tomorrow night. I'm going down there to see Lee. I think Dan Palfrey's there, a couple of first team players there.
Brilliant.
Looking forward to that. That'd be really good to just sort of go down there and see the guys in action. Also, walking football, Matt, they're doing.
Nice.
Walking
Get yourself
football.
involved. Get yourself involved.
You're taking a piss.
Well, you said you didn't like exercising anymore. I was thinking you could get
I
involved.
still run around when I want on a football pitch if I wanted, but I don't
What
want
you do
it.
as a ref, don't you? Would you stay in the centre circle?
No, I referee under 18s football. I can't just marshal the centre circle like Jan Mulvey used to do for Liverpool. Come on. I'll put the sprints in.
You got the boots for running, haven't you? The same
red
thing.
boots.
You can't lose control of a game, Matt, by just standing in one place. Come on.
No,
And Wednesday night. What is Wednesday night, guys? What is Wednesday
The
night?
FCAs.
What's happening? Come on.
You and a wonderful bunch of Talking Town representatives.
Stephen Parry will be attending. Ian Davis from the Cricket Show. Amy
Brilliant.
might be attending. She's had a few
Rounders.
family illnesses, so she might not be there. We'll see. But
But
it's going to be a great night.
it is. You and the Talking Town delegates going to go there.
Heineken's on the table, Matt. Heineken are the sponsor of the event. Heineken's on the table.
This means you could bring the
Paul
trophy
Merson.
back Friday.
Paul Merson.
You'll have the trophy from Friday show then, will you?
Well,
Fingers crossed.
look, we've made the final. We've made the final 8.
Nice on the trot. Brilliant.
We should be proud. We should.
We
be
should.
proud.
Right, we're done with Dusty. See you tomorrow at 8:30. Here's the Cruncher. No, tonight, 9:30 for the Rounders show. We'll see you then.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I get blue, I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought of you.